This one you will never lock. I don't even know why they put that there. That little guy has given me more headaches than it's worth. All right. If you lock that, this pump doesn't stop. All right.
So once again, it's sucking on a closed tube and going to
What
damage
happens
something.
is usually right here. You'll see this guy or this guy right here will start growing and growing and growing because these lines are very, very flexible.
No,
They'll get to about that big and then it pops.
that's no bueno.
And all that ink has to go somewhere.
All over the dog, and thank God the dog's white. We have a Maltese, so.
You're in good shape there.
Now notice this thing kind of sags when it's hanging there. Is that an issue?
It's not an issue. They all do that just because of the hinge. It's actually a pretty easy fix. You can take that apart and just kind of tighten it a little bit. Put it at more of an angle and tighten it.
Okay,
Straight
so
out.
there's
But
a little
it does not
adjustment.
affect it at all.
Okay.
All right. Of course, to put ink in it on this guy, doesn't matter if it's on or off. All you do is unscrew the lid, pour your white ink in there.
Is that considered full?
No, full is probably up to about here. All right. Now, with that being said, I noticed something in the
I
colorings.
thought I bought a full ink.
There's another bottle of white over there that belongs to you.
Oh, okay. All right.
These guys right here.
Oh, can I transport this in my vehicle with those inks in there?
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Do I need to support it right here so it doesn't?
What I do is I'll put tape and it just holds it up like that.
Okay, all right.
Here, these guys, I don't like them that full. Please don't overfill them like that. Keep the ink to about right here.
Okay.
All right. Now, when it gets to about here, you're gonna put more. That's about 200 shirts worth of ink.
Should I just draw a line here
I
and
would.
here?
Just to be on the safe
We
side.
find a Sharpie today. We'll put the mark on there. So
The reason I like it overfilled is you see how these lines have all this ink in it? That's your
Yeah.
air tubing. That's from them being overfilled. What happens is if it's overfilled and say you bump the machine a little, some of that ink will get in that line and it'll come over. Now, it does not matter if it comes in this direction, meaning from the yellow to the red to the blue, or the blue to the black. Right. It's not a big deal. The problem is if it ever goes in reverse, because if you get a little bit of blue in your yellow, green. Put a little bit of red in your yellow, you now have real red. All right?
okay.
Yellow seems to be the worst and the easiest to get contaminated.
Okay.
All right? Any questions so far?
No.
Perfect. Now, every day, they say we don't have to do this, but I just think it makes me sleep better at night.
Okay.
Just grab this guy and just give it
A little swirl.
a little swirl. And you'll notice after about a week, when you look in there, you'll see how the ink kind of separates a little.
Right.
I'd rather you give it a little bit of swirl than have to have that thing clock on you.
Yeah.
All right? Now,
And this because this will only do a certain amount of what.
It'll come on depending on here. Different techs have different ideas what this should be.
Okay. What's your idea?
I like it all the way on 1,
Okay.
and I like it to come on for 15 minutes to
Okay.
20 minutes. So it comes on every hour for 20 minutes.
All right.
When you're not using it. All right. Some techs like to put it, every 2 hours for 30 minutes.
But it ain't hurting nothing. Just
To run it more. And
Run it
actually,
more.
it's more beneficial.
and it's actually just running that ink through that and
Through
keeping
the
it
whole
moving.
system.
Oh, through the whole system.
Yeah, it goes from here, goes through the lines, through the print head, through the manifold, and back up again.
If you do the maintenance as y'all require, I should never have a clog issue. Well, you can't say never, but
Never.
because there's too many
If
factor
you use the
variables,
machine,
temperature and so forth.
if
But
you use the machine is the key. If you use the machine and do maintenance, the machine should get you quite a bit of print. I have a couple customers that have the ancient ones have been out, so of course that's why I can give you the figure. But the print head's basically the same. I have customers that have 1.5 million prints on a print head.
on one print head,
On one print head.
what's the average?
The average.
That's the exception. What's the average?
Um,
What's the average you see? Being that's the exception.
the average is probably 6 months.
So it's just a time, not a shirt.
And the reason it's 6 months is because a lot more people don't take care of them than people do. A lot of people just forget about them. They'll go away for 2 weeks.
Come back and then it won't print white, and they're calling him.
They'll complain and it doesn't print white. Well, what happened? We've been gone for 2 weeks. Sorry. But 8 months, 8 months to a year, as far as time frame's concerned, is probably a good deal for your print head.
Print head and dampers. Do you replace them both?
I would. If you're changing out the print head, I'd change out the damper.
Is that something I'm gonna be able to do myself, or
yes.
is it okay?
It's very simple to do.
To change out the dampers and the print head?
The first time, I would probably get a tech. Either come out there, or you come in here, watch the tech do it once.
Okay.
We do have videos and how-tos, but if you watch the tech do it once, you got it down packed. It's real simple to do.
And I'm pretty mechanically
Yeah.
inclined, so you know.
All right.
I'm sure there's some people that should never attempt it at
No.
all.
Let me flip this guy around here so we can see one more thing over here.
Oh, here, I'll just come around. Oh, look, back of your head. There you go. Okay.
All right. In here is your wasting tank. All right. You will dump that every 2 days, whether it's full or not.
Dump it every 2 days, whether it's full or
Every
not.
2 days,
Okay.
because if you don't, you'll just happen to forget it. It'll fill up, and we'll do that.
What? Oh, all this
Yeah.
ink and stuff?
Okay. Every 2 days,
Hey.
you will dump it.
You know, I told you I'm a big maintenance buff, and I'm real anal about cleaning,
Yeah.
being clean. Is there a way is there something I can wipe that with that'll clean that up?
Simple green and a
Simple
magic
green.
sponge.
And a magic sponge, okay.
All right. Now in here is your ink chip compartment. All right. That's called a auto reset. All right. So an electronic ink chip board that resets. All right. Itself.
Yeah, because it used to not be that way, right?
No.
You used to have to put little ink
Cartridges in there.
little chips
Mhm.
every single time you.
Well, you'd have to pull them out and put them back in. This just does it automatically for you. That's where we get the 32-second resets because of this guy right here.
All right.
All right. I'm just showing you in case you ever have to change them out. They're real
Some
simple.
of that leaked over there, didn't it?
It's real simple to change out. This is your power. That's your signal lead. You unplug, undo, pull it out, put the new one in, plug everything back in. All right. It only plugs in one way.
Wait. This,
It's your power. You would unplug that.
and then this little cord that's splashed in right
Yeah.
there.
You would undo that. Pull this one out. Put the new one in.
And I would need to replace it for what reason? Do you have to replace them every so often? Or?
You do. Here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have pretty good clean power, so we don't really have to worry about it. But I've been up north, in the middle of nowhere, where they have a lot of power surges, and they will take them out.
I will tell you this: in McKinney,
Mhm.
our power goes off and on all the time. You don't. It won't even be raining. You'll be in your house and you're like, "What the hell?"
I would put surge suppressor on this guy.
Well, not just a surge protector, but would you use a backup? On my home computer, in my vinyl cutter, I'm getting ready to pile one of those battery backup.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same for my embroidery machine.
It wouldn't hurt.
You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
surge protector, but it also, if the power goes out, it keeps power to
Yeah,
it.
if you constantly have a lot of like short bursts of powers going, I would definitely invest in
And
it.
sometimes it'll go off, come back on.
Mhm.
You'll get the computer right back up. It'll go back off,
Yeah.
come back on, and you know that's messing with the system.
Yeah,
hard.
I would definitely do that with this guy then.
This, the embroidery machine,
Mhm.
since they're the two biggest investments I have right now.
Any questions on this bad boy?
Not as of yet, because I got you all on video.
All right. Now, I do know that some of these guys do come with wings. Did you get the wings for it? They're little extensions.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The little attachments?
Yes.
Yeah, I left them at home. Was I supposed to bring
Perfectly
them?
fine.
Oh,
With the adult platens, don't need them. But if you're going to print something bigger,
right.
you have the capability of doing it. All right.
Would you put the two platens together to do that, or is there a longer platen you buy?
You can actually. We have a longer platen, or you can make your own platen. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say while I'm being recorded.